What a couple of days that was. Was it in 36 hours I had 48 Taco Bell tacos delivered to my house. Top Foe, I finished my completion mark on Tainted Jacob the other day. I'm so happy I'll never touch him again. I said the same thing, and here we are on file number 2. I too said I would never touch Tainted Jacob again. And here I am staring down the barrel of doing him not just one more time, but realizing that at some point I'll probably do it a 3rd time. So that, here's the thing though, I don't know that they ever fixed the dailies thing. I need to start doing dailies. But like, if they didn't fix the dailies thing, then I can't get Dead God on these other 2 files. Like that's the reason Brizzy doesn't have Dead God on his file despite playing a shitload of Isaac when it came out. Oh, Brizzy got his stuff to work? Maybe they patched it. Maybe they patched it. I'm telling you, Justin. Oh, Pretzel is installing an update, it would appear. Pardon the awkward silence, chat. I just had an involuntary Pretzel update just pushed right up in my butt. You know what? I want to start on the Epic channel. I want to move to the Epic channel today. Yeah, Justin, I'm telling you, man. Aldi for staples. Like Aldi and Lidl for staples. Kroger for the majority of your stuff. Wegmans and Trader Joe's for specialty items. That's how Amber and I do it, and we save a significant sum. I'd say the way it breaks down is that like 60% of what I buy, 60% of what I buy probably comes from Kroger. Another 30% of what I buy probably comes from Aldi, and then 10% comes from like Wegmans. And I mean, like, I'm also not doing a pescatarian diet, so take that with a grain of salt. But oh, you little rat bastard. But yeah, I do like 60% Kroger, 30% Aldi, like 5% Costco, and 5% like Trader Joe's and Wegmans. Rab says, to be completely honest, I never knew what Isaac was or anything. I mainly joined from Pretzel, and I'm glad I did. I'm here for the talks and have fun with everyone. Also, yes, my bad on Pretzel update. I pushed a button. Oh, funny. I do live in the USA. I do. I live in Richmond, Virginia. Yeah, we have Aldi, we have Lidl. They all just kind of came over and took the whole nation by storm. It was like one day there weren't Aldis, and one day there weren't Lidls, and then the next day there were, and they were everywhere. You're doing great. You're doing great, Haunt. You're just doing a bang-up job. I want you to know that everyone here on the middle management team thinks the world of you. Aldi and Lidl were European grocery store chains, and then they brought their happy asses over to the States. Aldi came to the States in '76. I didn't realize that. I'd never heard of them until one got put in my neighborhood. God, I don't know, a couple of years ago. They weren't staples in the I say the American South. Virginia was the capital of the Confederacy once upon a time. So it seems only fair to call it the American South, but man, it is the upper cusp of the American South. It is right next to DC and Maryland and... Got an Aldi in the Midwest. We've had Aldi in the Midwest for 30 years. I only know this because my uncle used to be the guy who traveled around the Midwest building all of their new buildings. I'd never even heard of it before until one showed up in Richmond. Well, one showed up near me in Richmond. There may have been one here the whole time, but one showed up near me in Richmond, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago. That Lidl's like 2 years old. If I'm not mistaken, Justin, that Lidl was not here when you started looking for houses and then got put here before you bought yours. I'm shocked it's only 2 years old. It feels 20. Again, I could be wrong, but I just don't remember either one of those buildings being here, and I've lived on this side of town for the better part of a decade. Man, mapping is so good. And I don't even have a trinket. But I could. You don't know. I have a trinket. I like to think the Tamed and Forgotten's gimmick of being a baseball pitcher, just the soul just pitches the dry bones boy or the bones boy as a baseball. I always think of it as Thor and Loki doing Get Help. Neat.
Luck down.
Horf. I always think of it as Thor and Loki doing Get Help. And what sucks is I went to go make that Mimi joke when Repentance came out, and I was too late to the scene. Somebody had already made the meme and put it out, and it had already gotten a ton of love on like the Binding of Isaac subreddit. I was too late. I honestly don't think I've ever been in a Lidl. I think Amber's gone, and like Amber does. I used to do all the not all the shopping. I used to do a lot of the shopping pre-pandemic. I used it as a time to call my mom and catch up. But since the pandemic, Amber's done most of the grocery shopping online and just has done curbside pickup. So I've never, I know she's been inside a Lidl, but I've never actually been inside the Lidl. I do miss Costco. We are officially getting our old beer fridge picked up so that we can clear out the space and replace it with a garage-ready fridge from Lowe's so that we can have a second freezer and a second refrigerator, so that when things like the holidays come by, or we do go to Costco and decide that we need a 5-pound bag of pot stickers or whatever, that we have someplace to put it. And I'm genuinely very excited about that. Ooh, Billy. Yeah, I've been to Costco once since the pandemic started. Ugh. I was really hoping for enough coin to be in here. Ooh, Billy. I'm looking for enough coin to get the map. Yeah, I was gonna say, Justin, for you it'd be kind of rough because I just like, not to sit here and be like, you live alone. You live alone, Justin. But like, but from a fucking budgeting standpoint, how often do you need a shitload of bulk, you know? Look at this alone guy. Yeah, honestly, that big ass bag of jasmine rice. And again, like I'm one of those people that even if I live by myself, I would always go into the freezer section and find something that was an easy fix and just get a shitload of it. Yeah. This seems worth it to me. There we go. There's our coin as well. Yeah, like toilet paper. Toilet paper, I am genuinely the kind of guy who would find like one frozen thing that I could tolerate to eat for an entire month if I was like drunk or too lazy or tired to fix anything. Spring rolls or taquitos or some shit like that. And just buy 50 of those and stick it in the freezer. Costco's not bad if occasionally if you find yourself in need of like an appliance. With the way the fucking supply chain and everything is right now, you never know when the thing that you need is not going to be on Amazon, not going to be on Sony, not going to be available at Best Buy, but all of a sudden you do find it at Costco of all places. But yeah, I mean, Lime Grove's got a good point that it'd be rough to justify a monthly member. Their gas gets really inexpensive. Shit, I will say that, like, Costco's gas is I haven't checked it in a while because Amber's been the one who's gassed up the cars, but like, Costco's gas I think is like a quarter less expensive. Oh, that's true. Yeah, you could just end up going to like an Indian or Asian store and just getting fuck off bags of jasmine rice and stuff without doing the membership. Yeah, Sponge Hank, like as a, you know, family of 4, Costco makes a lot of sense for certain things for sure. It would be rough. I feel like it would be rougher for me to justify it if I lived by myself. Like I didn't have a Costco membership in my 20s, you know. That's true. Costco also pays its employees and actually generally tends to have happy workers. Digital gifts are 10 for 10 this holiday season. Costco's outside the US and memberships transfer between countries. Gas is wild right now. I don't gas up very often since I'm only driving to the gym. I had to fill up yesterday and was very sad. Thankfully, like, I mean, we're about to buy Amber and the boys a new car. I say about to. We're in the process of starting looking at a new car for Amber and the boys. But man, oh man, am I super glad that just means that we won't be driving mine anymore. I have zero desire to drive anywhere. I'll fucking fly to the grocery store if they'll let me. Gas is finally reaching a point where I'm just like, I'd rather just fly. Tig! Lisa! This is fucking cheers all of a sudden. I see names I'm happy to see. Joy Fatone, man, I hope you have a tremendous afternoon. So anywho, I don't know. I like Costco in the same way that I like IKEA. I do like one or two IKEA trips a year. But if I had to pay a membership fee to do it, I don't know that I would. Costco's food, so it's a little bit different, but generally speaking, toilet paper, the occasional like frozen food item. For a long time, Amber was getting like these frozen meatballs from there that were really easy on days where she didn't want to cook, which was every day. But on days where Amber didn't want to cook and she wanted to make something that resembled a very fast home-cooked meal, she could pull frozen proteins out of the fridge that would do most of the heavy lifting for her. Toiletries. A big big fuck off, you know, thing of hygiene products and deodorant and toilet paper and bars of soap and stuff like that. Yeah, occasionally, occasionally I do find myself in there looking at furniture. My mom, I think that I would look more realistically at things like Kirkland Signature stuff is not bad, man. Some of the Kirkland Signature stuff that they have, if you took it outside of its packaging and just handed it to me, everything from like the chocolate covered raisins to wine. Ooh. That means I get recall now. Neat. I like that very much. Yeah, there's a lot of good Kirkland Signature stuff that they have that is again, if you took it out of the label, you'd have no idea it was their store brand. I have to buy furniture this weekend. I'm in goddamn free fall. Family will be here Sunday at noon, and I have nowhere for them to sit and also need to clean. Normally, I would be all sorts of on board for helping you out, but on Sunday, I'm gonna be not in town. Recall is so good. I have to take both my cats to the vet Sunday. I'm gonna be a mess. Yeah, you sound you sound a bit rough. Maybe I could get it on Saturday afternoon. Maybe Saturday after stream I could come over and help clean. As the wife of a Costco employee, I recommend Kirkland Signature products. Yeah, I got high praises to be sung about Costco. I am happy to be a father in a family of 4, so that I have statistically have a good reason to have a Costco membership, because if I didn't, I remember being in my 20s and being pissed that I had to wait to go into a Costco until I was like with or around my mom, because she had the membership. I like going to Costco. I don't like the shoppers at Costco, but the employees and the building and the items are all cool. I always end up because this is what I do for a living. I find myself there at odd times. I find myself there at odd times, and I'm usually surrounded by a bunch of blue hairs who treat me like, shouldn't you be at work? Like, they give me that kind of attitude while I'm there, and it's a real buzzkill. Moving my cart through a Costco is like driving on a freeway in Florida. No, I've just learned what blue hairs mean, and it does not mean young people. It just means old people. It just means really old people. I was pedal to the metal since the marathon. I was pedal to the metal since the marathon until Sunday. Sunday was my first full day off in the entire month of November. I'd love to live near enough to a Costco that I could reasonably shop there, but I'm not driving 45 minutes to do my grocery shopping. That's fair. It was even with a family of 4 when I was in school. Like Costco trips were tough because they were the Costco that was near us was, oh, that's really unfortunate. The Costco that was near us was 13 miles each direction. Luck down. I'll probably not take that. I always thought that blue hair was like was a way for like MAGA types to describe young people with dyed hair. Where I grew up, it always was was the derogatory term my mom would use when she like got cut off in traffic by an old woman who could barely see over the dash anymore. My mom would do things like, my mom would talk about old people the way that like old people talk about young people. My mom, when she was like in her 40s, would sit there and be driving and be like, man, watch this blue hair's gonna come over and not even check her blind spot. Watch, here she goes, no blinker, no nothing. Honk, 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 honk. This fucking blue hair right here. This piece of shit old woman. She wouldn't say fucking piece of shit old woman, but she would say, that would be the tone she'd rub all over it. Oh no, yeah, it doesn't mean like Twitch partner. You know, yeah, this. But honestly, the one place where blue hairs might be a minority would be a Twitch partner lounge. Yeah, I've heard the term biddies. Biddies always makes me feel like I feel like Betty White is a biddy. You know what I mean? It is like, it is the only slur for a group of people that you can say as loud as you want because they fucking can't hear you. You know? Like, whatever. Huh? And they turn it up and they're like, you can get away with it. Oh, that's bad. My health is so low. I'm down to like 2 hearts. Let's make it worse. A few weeks ago, I was like mile-long line behind a geriatric dude in what looked like a 50-year-old beater going 5 under the speed limit in the fastest fucking lane, riding next to the car to his right. I go ballistic when those people get in the left-hand lane, the passing lane. I do have 2 hearts left. When old people get into the left-hand passing lane and create a rolling roadblock. Like, I have mellowed out so much since my children were introduced to the car. I have mellowed out so much since my kids were introduced to the car because I don't want to put them in harm's way over my wounded ego. But I still get, like, low-key furious when I see some geriatric, you know, septuagenarian forming a rolling roadblock, doing 5 under in the passing lane.
Tears up.
I get, like, legitimately kind of beside myself. I wish I had better control over my emotions in that instance. So many horfs. A lot of states that's just straight up against the law. I don't know about Virginia. I mean, like, you know, I think generally the rule is that the left lane is for passing only. But I think things are reasonably laid back enough here that they're not gonna, like, pull over somebody's grandma to say, like, hey, Gertrude, you gotta get your old dusty ass out of the passing lane, or I'm gonna give you a ticket. Huh? You've gotta get out of the passing lane, or I'm gonna give you a ticket. Are you Antifa? I ride the left lane almost exclusively, but I move over if anyone gets behind me, but I'm passing everyone, baby. Sunglasses emoji. I don't, man. I stay 5 to 6 miles over the speed limit and hug the right-hand side. I only get over there to pass people. I've seen and almost been a part of so much horse shit on the road. And I've seen and almost been a part of so many fucking news reports that I am genuinely, desperately trying not to be a fucking headline, basically, especially not with the boys in the car. Damn it, Taffy! I was drinking coffee. I was under the impression it's for passing only on the highway, but not surface streets since there's left turns. I mean, yeah, like in those situations, if I'm like in a city and I'm trying to make a turn to get on an interstate, or to make, you know, to make it to where I'm trying to go, you know, if I'm in DC and I need to get to the Nats game, and I gotta get, you know, I gotta get to a left-hand turn lane not too far down the road. Shit, there's a left-hand turn lane that leads into my neighborhood that I hit all the time. And if I gotta, you know, be in the left-hand lane, not driving like a bat out of hell, so that I can make the left-hand turn lane that gets me to my house, then I'm gonna be in that left lane, going a little under the speed limit, and that's just gonna have to be okay with people. But on the interstate, where there's just nothing but miles of straight road, unless I'm making a left exit,
I can see forever up.
I don't fuck with it at all, man. I get in that right lane and just live there, unless for some reason I need to do otherwise. Lives in the UK, drives a V8, passes everything but a gas station. I was reminded of a quote from NL from Fall Guys the other day. There's not a small amount of people in every Fall Guys game who are just walking off edges unable to figure out how to jump. And those people share the road with you. They aren't all children, statistically impossible. That was, we had somebody in here the other day who was talking about how she was, I say she, I shouldn't assume. They were saying how they were nerve-wracked about getting their driver's license. And I was like, you shouldn't be. And they're like, you know, I know, I've studied, I've put the time and the effort in. And I was like, no, you shouldn't be worried about getting your driver's license, because you gotta look at some of the mouth-breathing idiots who have driver's licenses and realize that you're way smarter than them. And that was the thing that put my anxiety to bed when I was a kid. When I was a kid getting my driver's license, I absolutely was just like mortified. My anxiety went through the roof. And then on the drive to an LDS church parking lot, where my dad was gonna let me like put my feet on the pedals for the first time, I was looking at people that we were passing while my dad was driving, and I was like, some of these people are lucky to be alive. Like, there are people that we're passing that are lucky they haven't drowned in the shower, and they have driver's licenses. And my dad was just like, makes you a little bit scared, doesn't it? And I was like, yeah, of them. He's like, but of you? And I was like, no, I'll be fine. I have a weird situation where the highway ends and the right lane becomes a right turn lane, so there's always that awkward migration to the left lane fast when you need to get there at the end. I've learned, there was a place where I got on my high horse for a long time, and I feel like some of you are going to be there with me on it, where I used to actively try to punish people who, if a bunch of us saw that the right lane ended, and we just got over to the left early, and then some guy zips up the left-hand side, or the right-hand side, and then just tries to merge at the very last minute. But I was reading somewhere that ultimately we absolutely should jam cars up both sides. I still do, and I don't care about zippers. You know exactly where I'm going with this. Well, we held on to it for as long as we could, but even with recall, there's no way I'm getting through this area unscathed. Yeah, I 100% used to, like, want to brutally punish people like that. And now I won't say that I actively engage in it. But if I do find myself, like, unaware of the fact that there's a lane closure or whatever, I don't feel the overwhelming sense of guilt. I don't feel the overwhelming sense of guilt about being that guy. Not the same way that I used to was. Oh, recall. You're so stinking good. I have a weird, let's see, if you have a left exit, that doesn't give leeway to give you to go the same speed you were going, speed up, because now you're in the passing lane. Yeah, that's adjust to the environment around you is always the approach I've taken in cars. adjust to match the driving environment around you. And I say I've always taken that stance with it, but I take that stance after having a rollover accident in a blizzard because I was going too fast for the conditions. I take that stance because I've been rear-ended for going too slow when everyone else around me was driving like a bat out of hell. Justin, I hope you have a tremendous workout. I hope it goes very well. Hope you feel adequately rewarded at the end.
Speed.
Anime girl, congratulations to your boyfriend. There's a difference between someone zippering and someone going 30. Yeah. That's my take, Beryl, is that, like, there's still a part of me that wants desperately to punish that asshole. There's still definitely a part of me that, like, that wants to punish that asshole who's, you know, doing 40 miles an hour while the rest of us are stopped. Who can clearly see that there's a big merger coming, versus the person who just, like, is looking for the best way to get in. Yeah, I guess. You got all this health just laying around right now. Down, down, down. Taffy's going down.
Balls of steel.
Just saying it now to get it in my head. I had some Fig Newtons this morning, but I'm actually starting to get hungry. Might have some of the leftover homemade spaghetti and meatballs that I made. Well, I didn't make the spaghetti, but I did make the meatballs and the sauce from scratch. Thank you so much, Taffy, for the affirmation about the fried rice dinner. I felt so good yesterday because Rory ate everything off his plate except for the big chunks of tomato that didn't get mushified in the spaghetti and meatballs that I made. And then he also told me that I did a good job. So I felt very... Grayson and Amber have become fans of my work. They both went back for seconds. Amber's reached the point where, like, I feel like she's not even paying me compliments just because she knows my ego is fragile. I feel like Amber's been paying me compliments because she genuinely has been enjoying the food. But Grayson's gotten to a point where he started taking seconds. He's also about to become a teenager in the next couple of years. So he's needing calories. I think he's just grateful that the calories are generally pretty good. But yeah, whenever Rory... Oh, you little pisser. Whenever Rory actually admits to enjoying our food, or enjoying my food, I feel like I've done something special. Because I feel like he sets out with the intention.
Bombs are king!
I think that... I can't tell. I thought maybe that gave me some bombs or something. I wanted to see what a big one did. My least favorite are the ones who use the lane knowing it's going to be an exit ramp on the highway. They do that big ring road near me and back up traffic. On the big rig road near me and back up traffic for every day for 10 miles for nothing except people getting impatient. Yeah, this stream's about to get hit with some heavy-duty inflation. Sorry, chat. My boys are about to start really eating. My boys are about to start really eating food, and that's really gonna drive prices up around here. Sorry. Supply chain. Times we live in, all that. Labmate, welcome back. Been a minute, happy to see you. I do love Birthright on this character for sure. Save me, succubus, save me. I need coins.
Hey man, those are bits.
Tig! Thank you for the 100 bits. Charity for the feed the Taffy Tots. It's not bad yet, but they definitely... Oh, it gave me... Sorry, I just saw what it did. It gave me gold bombs. It's not bad yet. Generally speaking, they eat like little birds. But I can see Grayson ramping up. This is my last shop. Yeah, let's just do this. I can see Grayson, I can see his metabolism ramping up. I can see him clearing whole plates and very quietly, very casually going back for seconds. And that's the part where I start to get nervous, is because once they both start doing that, I joke and say that right now I'm getting a beer fridge. And while it's true, I'm gonna store beer in that fridge. The general feeling is that, like, we're gonna need a place to store a second gallon of milk. We're gonna need a place to store extra lunch meat. We're gonna need a place to store another extra couple of pounds of frozen hamburger for cooking. It's about to become that time where, you know, like I made enough dinner for everyone last night, and Amber was just like, we need bigger stock pots. My stock pot wasn't big enough for Thanksgiving. We're gonna need a bigger saucepan. I was doing I was doing the spaghetti sauce and the meatballs in the same pan, and it was like nanometers away from spilling over, and I had to like very slowly simmer it and reduce it down so that we could put the spoon in without it overflowing. And Amber's like, wow, you put a lot of food in there. And I was like, baby, the boys are gonna eat spaghetti and meatballs, you know, like, we don't have to worry about like, oh, will the boys eat spaghetti and meatballs? They will. And you know that if they both eat it, I had to make enough for us all to have a significant amount of food. We either need to start making bigger entrees or start making more sides. And you can kind of see the realization hit when I mentioned that. Like when I laid it out like a math problem to her.
This is
and you could see it kind of land a little.
Denizen of the cave.
And then the very next day she came to me and goes, okay, so the Virginia, you know, appliance recycling people are coming to get the old fridge next week, so we can go ahead and go buy a bigger garage fridge from Lowe's and get that installed at the same time they're picking the old one up. Xanderlag gifts a tier 1 sub to Psycon. Psycon, enjoy the emote. Xanderlag, thank you for the 6 gifted all time. I bought a chest freezer. I toyed with the chest freezer, but I think, like, as much as we want a bunch of really good, like, frozen items and a place to keep frozen items, more than anything, I feel like it'll be useful for us to have,
Shot speed up.
I feel like more than anything, it'll be useful for us to have a place where we can store an extra gallon or 2 of milk. I feel like it'll be useful for us to have a place where we can store, an extra bag of egg rolls or something. I don't mind making a lot of stuff from scratch, but it's like, last night I made spaghetti and meatballs. I didn't make the spaghetti, I didn't make the garlic bread. I just bought a loaf of garlic bread from Kroger, but I made the sauce and I made the meatballs. And so if I'm in a situation where Amber says, Ryan, make all the meals this month, and then I go to make all the meals, but like in the interest of keeping everybody interested, I make a whole bunch of different stuff, and she's like, well, it's not super expensive, but I have a lot of ingredients. You know, where do I store the lot of ingredients that you had me buy? So, you know, the refrigeration felt like it was potentially more important. Like the extra refrigerator space felt like it was more important than getting a chest freezer. I use my 8-quart Instant Pot for spaghetti and meatballs. I make the sauce in there and then make 2 pounds of spaghetti and we eat all of it. That's what I'm saying. The days of me making dainty little meals that are enough for me and my pequeño wife are probably not indefinitely behind us, but they are, you know,
Bombs.
they are probably long gone.
Up.
Or at least they're working on becoming long gone, you know? It's not really even dawned on me that, like, if I've been getting any, like, health upgrades and whatnot, I can just eat them. I don't want that. Pots and pans will be on the stream shopping list. I put a Le Creuset stock pot on there. Again, shoot for the moon, you might land among the stars. No Smeg fridge. No, not in the garage. Well, I mean, not in the garage. We don't have a garage, but like not in the shed. Yeah, the foil bag garlic bread from the grocery store. It's just, you know, it's exactly what I want it to be without the fuss. It's not particularly, it's not perfect, but it is certainly good enough. Oh, for the kitchen? Yeah. We, you know, we did our part. We got Amber to say yes. It was just that Smeg didn't have all of the appliances in the color that she agreed to. I did the hard part. I got Amber to say yes to getting every appliance in the kitchen redone on Champion's dime. That was the hard part. It was just heartbreaking when she said I want it all in burnt orange. And that was one of the only colors that they had that, they didn't offer the entire kitchen in. It was just like the toaster. It was like the toaster and maybe the... we don't even have to do this room. It was like the toaster and the range, or the toaster and the fridge, but nothing else. I don't really feel compelled to do this floor again. I think we can just kind of knock this out. If we were on a floor that had a shop... If we were on a floor that had a shop or an item room, I'd do this floor again, but I don't really see the point. Unless I'm gonna try to get like really awesome deals with the devil. But that feels good enough. On the Le Creuset stock pot, you better grow even more muscles. I was looking for something in the 16 to 20 quart range. But in stainless steel, feel free to recommend a good one that is not Le Creuset on stream gifts. This is also the nice thing too, is that I can turn to you guys and say, hey everybody, I'm looking to get a new stock pot. The first one that I saw on Amazon got like really terrible reviews for being cheap. Like it was inexpensive and it was cheap. So I don't want to do that. But then the alternative was like, I'm gonna do Le Creuset. And it's like, wow, that's a $200 stock pot, Taffy. Eventually, your kitchen is gonna be worth more than your house if you keep this up. I don't necessarily want everything to be super duper fancy, but like I know that Le Creuset is of high quality. I don't need it to be super expensive.
Range.
I didn't have 45 minutes to an hour to like go and examine all the reviews and try my best to find like well-received stock pots on Amazon, you know? I would like to be done. There we go. The Le Creuset will end up on your will, you will have it forever. That's how I felt about the, what was I gonna say? The KitchenAid stand mixer. I spent the extra money on the KitchenAid stand mixer because people were just like, you're gonna bequeath that to your sons. There are a lot of people who are just like, that KitchenAid will outlive you. 1 second. I wish there was a way to make my little man stick the landing here. All of that sounded like a euphemism, but I really just mean like I really want this guy to hold completely still. Listen here, you little rat bastard. Thought this was like God of War, but it's a generic Hollywood trailer, Clash of Warriors, Gladiators song. Still though. Ow. Ow.
Balls of steel.
We just bought my brother a KitchenAid stand mixer. I told him he has to have kits now because it has to go somewhere. They put the day-old foil bag garlic bread on half price at my local supermarket, and they're always $1, and I live for that shit. I genuinely, I don't like to do... I do like that. I don't know what that does. I'm gonna see if I can... Well, I'm definitely gonna do this, and I'll just start working my way towards the boss. I have to remind myself that the Q button exists. Wow, he shorted that one. I feel like he did that on purpose. I generally don't like to do meal I have to eat with a fork. I generally don't like meals I have to do with a fork or a spoon on stream. That's why I like sandwiches and burgers so much. But I'm so geeked at the prospect of eating meatballs that have sat in the spaghetti sauce overnight, and that stupid foil bag garlic bread from Kroger's. I'm so geeked at the prospect of eating all that that I might actually do spaghetti and meatballs for dinner, or for lunch today. Just so I can eat the foil bag garlic bread and eat the meatballs that have been sitting in the sauce all night. Meatballs are always better when they've been sitting in the spaghetti sauce for a day. I did spaghetti last night. I wish I'd taken a picture of it. It came out really well. I like Uther, but I gotta turn him down. A lot happened here. Not today, Satan. Neat. Ow. I've done delirium on this one. I don't have to do anything this time. Whew.
Someday, Bumbo, lucky Bumbo, someday the Bumbo's a bad Bumbo. He got corn.